Mahal, and you're plugged into guitar.com. Very simple, very direct, still moving because it's that kind of slow drag beat. People wanted to dance slow, dance close together, and they wanted to be able to feel the sound and the mood of the music. They don't want you, it's not like sometime you play it, it's all the time. As a musician, you're responsible to keep that thing in a musical space all the time within the framework of music. But the systems, there's a tendency, and you can even make that sound good if you want, like if you can get more like kind of like the Hawkins style. That's a particular style that somebody's developed to be able to do. And this is a man that played for lots of dances, country dances, so he had to get it jumping so people would dance. And then one day you watch the dancers once you set it up, and you watch how they're feeling it, and then you see what you can do to give them a good time and to keep the music going. But again, a lot of people don't use their ears or their own soul to hear the inside of the music, you know what I'm saying? We're rocking already. Rock it. Getting up soon in the morning, I believe I've just my own. Getting up soon in the morning, I believe I've just my own. The best girl I've been loving, my friends can have my own. I don't want no woman, want a downtown mansion me. I don't want no woman, want a downtown mansion me. Mama said that woman ain't nothing but a no good phony. She should not be loud out there on the street. I mean, it's just sitting down with the instrument and the music, knowing what the music is. You know, what's the musical result of all of that? You know, that's really a big deal. I mean, that for me, you know, it's not. I think oftentimes people are quite unaware of the fact that in the fabric of a culture, lots of things are interconnected, but you have to really, you know, seek out the places that they you know, connect with one another, cross and click in.
How do you mix the voice of your voice with the voice of your guitar? Like B.B. King once said he thought of it as he plays something and then he sings something in response, and there's a conversation going between himself and his guitar. Do you look at it the same way?
No, it probably happens that way, but I don't really look at it that way. Sometimes I try to stay away from as much sometimes I stay away from as much academia as I can, you know, because it gets sometimes in the way. Like Louis Armstrong said, they asked him if he knew how to read music. He said, yeah, but not enough to bother his playing.
Yeah, but you're very well schooled and very knowledgeable about everything you're doing. I get the sense that it comes from study and
well, it depends upon how you define study. If you define study as going to an ethnomusicology or a folk class or course, no, I didn't go there. Well, no, when I say study, I mean, you know, hearing somebody like Stevie John Estes and being excited about that person, that individual, and catching them playing music as much as possible to hear behind the actual thing that they're doing, what the melodies that they're chasing after, what kind of sound that they're talking about, or what kind of story style the song is shaped around. You know, is it shaped around, you know, baby, what the may do? You know, if it's shaped around that, or is it shaped around? You know, or is it shaped around? You know, just disgusted, down, dirty, knocked down, dust off the barn blues. You know, where are you going with it? Not just to grab it out of the air. It has to really for me, it's like cultural significance, not so much my culture is separate from it, but American culture has these things that built the building blocks for the music as we hear it today. And they were things that satisfied people then, and they satisfy them now because they're complete things, complete entities, musical sounds, musical ideas. But, you know, times change, things move. Those people were in the country all the time, in a rural environment. Buckboards, walking, mules, cows, you know, chickens, and all that kind of stuff like that. You walk 5 miles over the air, so the rhythm that you feel is going to be based upon a lot of what you do. Put that same person on the L in Chicago, and trains running from Natchez to, Cairo, Illinois. You know, you got something different. Then put that same person in a smooth Dynaflow, you got a different kind of, you know, music altogether. You start talking about, you know, different kind of hard bopping blues, you know. I mean, it's environmental, and just to play it from the outside of the music without understanding what was going on, what was happening visually, how people were relating behind it, you can't get that feeling, you know. But I grew up listening to Greg Green and Oscar Moore and Kenny Burrell and Hal Farlow, amongst other, kind of hip guitar players. And the young guys back in those days, basically was George Benson, who was like a 20-year-old when I came upon that kind of music, and I like that kind of, hip sound like that. And I mean, that's just a more jazzier approach, urban jazz approach to the whole thing. And particularly, like say, with organ trios, you'd have a drummer, saxophone player, guitar player, and a B3 player, and you'd have, it'd be a house of fire. I mean, you could do the same thing with just a guitar player, organ player, and a drummer, or a drummer and an organ player, But the main thing is to be versatile. Start out learning what the music is. What's the music about? How can you figure it out? Not just to hear the notes going by ears, but that you feel it trucking. If it ain't trucking, it ain't moving, and if you start playing and people don't start to move, then what you're doing is just going by the notes. That's not what it is. What it is see, all that takes into consideration that people are going to be dancing. Really important. Now you can change her out. That Latin swings it. Take it different tempos, and a lot of it is defining the line and then hooking up. If you're playing by yourself, the single line stuff like that sometimes works in the middle of a song that you've already established quite a bit of rhythm in. But if you're working in a situation where you've got other instruments to play, you're going to play your chords a lot tighter. Much tighter clipped chords, because you just can't have them ringing all over the place over there before you step on somebody else's space to play. But that's like for instance, it's like there's like or it's that same push. Keep it pushing. Keep it rocking till it starts swinging, syncopating on itself, That's the thing to really think about a lot.